Of this presentation is Ancient Mesopotamia Course Description. It was created by Taylor Brackett for an assignment for the American College of Education. This presentation is intended to give an overview of a course designed for a 6th grade social studies class. This page is titled Description of Course. This course is designed to teach students about ancient Mesopotamia. It meets the South Carolina State Standard 613, which states, compare the river valley civilizations of the Tigris and Euphrates, Mesopotamia, the Nile, Egypt, the Indus, India, and the Wang He, China, including the evolution of written language, government, trade systems, architecture, and forms of social order. This information will be added to a larger unit of study in which students compare 4 ancient river valley civilizations. For this specific course, students are focused on Mesopotamia and will study 6 categories. First, students will study the geography of the region by analyzing maps. Next, students will look at the religious practices of the individuals in Mesopotamia. Next, a study of the achievements is completed. Students will study the politics. Students will study the economy of Mesopotamia. Finally, students will study the social order of the ancient Mesopotamians. This format is also known as the GRAPES format. It is an easy format to use to ensure you are hitting all the major ideas about an ancient civilization. Although this format covers more information than is required by the standard, it is easier for students to organize the information they are learning when it is arranged this way. This same format will be used to study all of the ancient civilizations in the larger unit. The following slides will outline the activities students will complete to learn this information. The learning outcome and objectives for this course are listed below. The learning outcome is intended to encompass the goal for learning after all of the activities for ancient Mesopotamia are completed. This outcome states, at the end of this course, students will be able to describe the written language, architecture, government, and social order of ancient Mesopotamia. The objectives for this course state, given Play-Doh and a cuneiform alphabet sheet, students will be able to write a sentence to a friend in cuneiform to demonstrate an understanding of Mesopotamia's written language. Given a supply of sugar cubes, students will be able to work with a group to build a ziggurat with 4 levels to demonstrate an understanding of Mesopotamia's architecture. Given an unlabeled map of ancient Mesopotamia, students will be able to label 10 key geographical features of the region. Given poster paper or an outline presentation software such as PowerPoint, students will be able to create a graphic that labels and illustrates the 5 main social classes in Mesopotamia. Given a computer and Microsoft Word, students will compose a 5-paragraph essay from the perspective of a person in ancient Mesopotamia that includes at least 5 facts about the language, architecture, government, and social order of the region. Given a multiple-choice online assessment, students will be able to recall important facts about Mesopotamia's language, architecture, government, and social order with at least 80% accuracy. Again, the GRAPES format will involve the study of more information about Mesopotamia than is described in the objectives above. However, the objectives were chosen by determining the most important information within the GRAPES format. The learners for this course are elementary school students. This specific elementary school is a K through 6 school and is the only one in the district that keeps all of these grade levels together. The class of learners is approximately 25 students. There are 3 classes. The school itself is located in a rural area and has limited technology. The students are not one-to-one with technology, and many students do not have access to technology or internet at their homes. For this reason, this course is designed to work as a hybrid course. Finally, the learners have limited to no prior knowledge on the topic of Mesopotamia. Although this course will be hybrid, meaning students will complete some work on paper rather than on a computer, it still incorporates technology as much as is possible. Students have shared access to a total of 30 Chromebooks. If no other teachers are using them, there are enough for individual use in a specific class. Otherwise, students have to work with partners. Canvas is the learning management system used by my district, and it will be used for pre-assessing the students as well as for their daily discussions. Microsoft Word is used for typing assignments. Quizzes is an online review game that will be used throughout the course as a method for assessment. The teacher will deliver daily instruction through the use of a Promethean board, and students will take their notes from PowerPoint presentations. Vocabulary, an online instructional songs website, will be used for daily engagement. Finally, students will complete a short survey using SurveyMonkey to evaluate the course itself. Each day of instruction will have a similar layout. On day 1, students will use their Chromebooks to complete a pretest. This allows the teacher to determine prior knowledge before instruction. Students will also be introduced to the vocabulary song they will listen to daily. This song is usually one of the students' favorites for the entire year. Day 2 will cover geography. Every day of the course will begin with a Canvas discussion question and listening to the vocabulary song. An example of a discussion question may be, in multiple sentences, explain how the geography in Mesopotamia compares to the geography in our area. Students may take a couple days to answer this question fully. For geography, students will use their textbooks to analyze and label the important features of Mesopotamia. This activity aligns with an objective. Day 3 will cover religion. The beginning of the day looks the same as day 2. Students will then take notes from an interactive PowerPoint and will complete review questions on Canvas. Days 4 through 6 will focus on achievements. Again, each day begins with discussion and vocabulary. Students will take notes from a PowerPoint. They will then work in groups to create ziggurats with sugar cubes and write in cuneiform on Play-Doh. These activities align with objectives. Finally, students will play a review quizzes game independently. Day 7 will focus on gathering information on the economics of Mesopotamia from an interactive PowerPoint. On days 8 and 9, students will begin with their discussions and song and will then learn about the social order or social pyramid of ancient Mesopotamia. Then, working in groups, students will create a graphic with either posters or online presentations demonstrating their knowledge of the social order. Their projects must contain the titles and a description of the individuals at each level. This project aligns with an objective. On days 10 through 12, students will use their knowledge of the social order of Mesopotamia to complete a collaborative ELA social studies writing assignment. In multiple paragraphs, students must write a story from the perspective of an individual in ancient Mesopotamia. They must describe their social class as well as at least 5 facts about life in Mesopotamia. This assignment is typed and submitted to Canvas. It will serve as a grade in both subjects. This paper aligns with an objective. On day 13, students will complete their discussion and listen to their song. The rest of the class will be a review quizzes game. On the last day of the course, students will take a test on Canvas. This test aligns with the final objective. Once students complete their test, they will evaluate the course using a survey on SurveyMonkey. An example of a question that may be asked on the evaluation is, what activity helped you learn the most? Overall, the timeline for this course is 2 weeks. Several assessments, both formative and summative, will take place throughout the unit. First, a pre-assessment will be used to determine prior knowledge. The discussion questions completed on Canvas daily will be used by the teacher as formative assessments to determine and correct any misconceptions. The 2 review quizzes games played during the course provide formative assessment data and feedback for the teacher and students. The poster presentation project and the Canvas writing assignments are 2 forms of graded assessments that will be completed by the students. Students will be summatively assessed through the final test they complete on Canvas. Finally, the course will be evaluated by the students using a SurveyMonkey survey, which will provide the teacher with feedback on the effectiveness of the course. In conclusion, the overall goal of this course is to give students the information they need about ancient Mesopotamia to allow them to compare it to other civilizations in subsequent courses. Thank you for watching this presentation.